Welcome viewers, this is Winch here, continuing my survivability series. Welcome to episode 6. In this episode I want to detail positional fronting. Let's call it that. I'm not sure if that's a technical word, but positional fronting. This series in general was where I detail my mentality, my strategy, my overall positioning in the gameplay. I've detailed teamwork in the past, situational awareness. Feel free to check out my previous episodes. But in this episode, what I want to talk about and discuss is how to position your soldier to maximize its effectiveness. It doesn't really matter what class you're playing with. What I'm trying to detail here, as you're seeing a Firestorm gameplay, is knowing where to spawn, where to put yourself to where you're going to have the upper hand in engagement. How to put your soldier in a position where either with cover or spawn positioning. Basically, moments like this, I never get old. It never gets old seeing an A10 strafe in this game. This Battlefield moments like this you just don't see in other games. This looks so cool. You can't deny the beauty of this game. But positioning your soldier in Battlefield, one of the things I've always said and continue to say is it's not about the act of the gunplay, although that really helps your guns. Your gun skills do make a big difference in this game. I'm not going to say it doesn't. But more often than not, and this is why I like Battlefield so much, is it's not your gun skills that are really what makes you the winner in this game. Like, for example, in COD games, I hate to make a comparison. It's about your positioning. More often than not, the player with the less gun skill will outplay the player with a better gun skill if they know how to position themselves better. That's what it comes down to in this game, positioning. So right here, as you can see, I'm positioning myself kind of at an angle here where I know the enemy's be coming from position alpha towards position delta here. Now right here I'm throwing out a UCAV because armor is always a big consideration in Operation Firestorm. Right there I'm getting a mobility hit on that tank and I'm slowing his assault. Right here you can see an SUAV trying to roadkill me from a recon guy, so do a quick little juke right there. You know, that goes in line with situational awareness. More often than not, if you see that on the mini-map, you can usually count on that coming for the roadkill, and I was making my presence pretty well known over here, so that was a tactic that I was employing. So quick little juke. There he is over there. I'm going to throw a couple bullets at him, not knowing that I only have 2 bullets left in my weapon. That's a lack of attention right there. But there's a lot going on in this gameplay. I mean, your eyes are on the screen, the mini-map. It's also often difficult to scan your ammo count, but you can be taking that into consideration. Right here, where's the deagle when you need it? This gameplay was before the latest Dragon's Teeth release, which has just been a lot of fun right now. But no question the deagle is an incredible weapon, and that would be handy in that situation. Now right there you can see me getting a mobility hit on that helicopter, and it's basically crashing right in front of me, and those enemies spilling out of it, so you need to be aware of that. But as you can see here in this position, I'm always trying to keep cover between me and what's in front of me. Line of sight's just absolutely critical in this game. All it takes is one sniper to put you down, and that happens a lot. I mean, those scopes, the detail on them, they can see very, very well. Right here, I know there's a guy in that little cubby hole, so I'm trying to keep him pinned down with some mini spammage right there. I'm not really trying to get hits on him, I'm just trying to keep him hunkered down because my strategy is to come up here and throw C4 on the wall. But again, it's very easy to lose situational awareness, and I didn't position myself there in a good... I was just too exposed. But I got a quick revive here, and I'm going to get back up and throw out C4 here. So now my loadout's the UCAV and the C4 here with the support class. I also, in the next gameplay, I'm going to recap a lot of these topics, and I probably won't commentate through it all because I've uploaded this gameplay before, but it runs through a quick 20 kill streak on Dragon's Teeth. And there I was running the mortar and the UCAV. Again, it's something I've kind of said before, you don't need to have ammo all the time in support class. You know, the double effect of having 2 deadly pieces of equipment really will increase your effectiveness. Having the C4 and Firestorm is a must. There's just too much armor out here. And don't forget about these battle pickups. So many people do forget about this. As I pick up this, I don't even know what you call this thing, and it never fails, where you pick up the battle pickup, and right when I pull the trigger is literally right when the enemy sniper pulls the trigger here and puts me down. I couldn't believe it. He got one hit on me there. I was a little bit careless here. But literally as I was pulling the trigger for that missile, that's when that guy stymied me. So I was a little rage-induced right there. So come back and I'm going to... I believe I got revived, but I'm going to UCAB him real quick too. Again, I'm not here to really... I've gone on about this piece of equipment. I'm sure you guys are well aware of it now. But what I'm really trying to emphasize in this gameplay is just where you can see me positioning myself. Now, obviously, we pretty much have all the objectives right here. And it's pretty clear where the teams could be spawning at it. But as you can still see, they're still taking other objectives. This is 64-player Conquest, so it's quite busy out here in the battlefield. But anytime, and this is where I make a mistake as well, anytime you get too aggressive, you're going to pay the price. I see this so many times with so many players getting over-aggressive, just pushing into an objective, and particularly one where there's just too much infantry, or there's just too much resistance. Anytime you get too aggressive like this, you're going to get sniped, you're going to get overwhelmed, and short-range engagements are going to take you out. And right here I want to talk about pre-firing. Speaking of short-range engagements, right there I was trying to shoot that C4 on that tank, but wasn't able to do it, throwing a grenade there. This guy catches me off guard, know he's point blank, so I'm going to pre-fire that wall and use my weapon's weakness to my advantage by starting my fire, trying to get some suppression on that corner. So don't be afraid when a guy's not even showing his body yet to start firing before he rounds a corner. It'll give you a little bit of an edge in those situations. Pre-fire, that's kind of an old school tactic, one that we tend to overlook a lot in situations. There again, the UCAVs can take out armor if armor is damaged, particularly if you hit it in the rear or the top. Where I actually got both in that instance. That's the best place to hit a tank, is on the rear and the top. Much less armor there, it's always a consideration. But again, you can see the flow of this battle. That's more important than anything, is understanding the flow of the battlefield, knowing where the enemy's coming. I'm going up there, they're coming over there. It's a constant battle. You gotta be able to recognize trends like that in the battlefield very quickly in this game. That's more important than anything. If you can recognize a trend of what the enemy is doing, where they're coming from, and how to stem that and position yourself. Positioning is absolutely integral to your success. I can't beat that down enough. If there's any tips in this game, and whether it's situational awareness, teamwork, positioning is the most important. More often than not, if you spawn on a point getting taken and overrun, that's just going to be game over for you. It's a suicide attempt. If you run into a room where you have a low rate fire weapon and you get in a close quarters combat, more often than not, that's going to be a mistake that you will not survive. So giving yourself ranged engagements is one of the best pieces of advice I can give you on the battlefield, particularly if you have a weapon suited for that strength, DMR, something good at mid-range, because more often than not, what I find, and this is just my personal weakness, is I'm terrible close quarters combat kind of guy. I don't like those kind of higher fire rate weapons. I mean, they're great, don't get me wrong, the FAMAS or the AKs, stuff like that. Not to say they can't be used at medium range, but to me, it's just, I'm just not good at those kind of engagements. Now right here you see the mini-map. I see this guy coming. You can see me basically aiming down sights, anticipating this guy. I'm trying to give myself the advantage. It looked like he was aiming down sights too, but I just got lucky there. That was an assault player. Again, it's difficult for this M240 Bravo to go toe-to-toe against assault weapons right there. But again, if I had not aimed down sights right there, if I hadn't positioned myself to give me just a little bit of exposure in order to make the fire, or make that fire engagement, I would have won it. Right here, this is just the end of this clip, and I don't know how I didn't pull this off. I think netcode got me here because I was throwing out C4, I was trying to anticipate that tank coming down, and I was actually pulling the trigger right when he shot me, so I was pretty frustrated by that. So that's Firestorm there. I just hope you guys kind of saw me fighting there in that position delta, keeping myself oriented towards the fire. Now I'm going to translate this into a Dragon's Teeth here quickly on this kill streak. We'll run through it. I've already posted this before on my Chain Link review. This is a great match at Chain Link. But you can see me positioning myself here where I know the enemy's coming across that bridge from C right into the right into the middle objective C. And I've got this this truck here for cover, quickly reassessing targets to my left flank. But again, positioning myself instantly for, I mean, within the first minute of this match, I've got 9 kills. So it's not about the weapon that you use, it's about how you position yourself to use it, whatever weapon you choose to use. Now, in close quarters combat, you'd want a higher fire rate weapon, but I don't know how you get there any quicker than I have already, and you're just not going to drop enough enemies. That's why I've argued support's so effective here. Again, mortars, you just can't sit on them all day long, but I've got the remote mortar. I don't sit right next to my mortar when I deploy it like I see so many people do. Such a noob thing, but you still see it every day that people use mortars. It's just, you know, it's a remote mortar, guys. Throw it back there, make sure it's still in range, and then get away from it. But people just don't seem to understand that. Again, the bottleneck here on the bridge, the head glitch. This mortar doesn't get kills, but it gets great assists, and it's great for dispersing enemies. Now I'm going to position myself again towards the objective, being conscientious of my flanks, being conscientious of snipers, and always using my team to kind of push up there in front of me, because that's what support's for. Support's for supporting your team. That's why they call it support. So I don't go Rambo on in there, although I'm guilty of doing that, but I'm trying to use my team's momentum to push up to the objective. You know, the Bravo's a great gun, but you just can't depend on it for close quarters combat. It just can't hang, frankly. It just can't, especially with an ACOG scope. My target acquisition is so slow compared to you know, assault guys with red dot sights, holographic sights. So here we've captured this position here. I'm going to fast forward this quickly, and now I'm going to reassess. That's what's great about chain link, is the moment you get objectives, the team's back captured you. So now it's time to reassess back towards the objectives that we just lost. So again, here positioning, looking at the choke points. I want to maximize my effectiveness, use suppression, whatever I can, and start plinking away at these guys. Burst fires, short controlled bursts, a high damage weapon like this, ACOG scope to increase my effectiveness at long range. So again, positioning is everything in this game. A bipod even being more effective here in this situation. Throw that out on that rail, and this thing will be a big sniper rifle. So I hope this kind of gave you guys some clues about the class in general, my mentality, positioning. Don't just run that word through your mind the entire time you play the game. How can I position myself for a frontal assault? Because the moments you die this game is when you get shot in the back or you get overwhelmed. Those are my two most biggest downfalls in the game. I don't like close quarters. I try to stay away from it, but you know, you can't combat the fact. So a lot of times you'll see me try to just lay low for a while, kind of observe movements and make sure that I position myself to shoot my enemy in the back as opposed to them doing that to me. Whereas this guy getting against the failed knife, I can't help but chuckle at this a little bit. But hope you guys like this video. I'll try to increase my production times, or reduce them, that is, on the Survivability series. It took too long to get to this point. Again, just been busy work, but hope to continue the series. Hope you guys liked the video. Hope you learned something. Please leave the comments in the section. Let me know what you want to see. This is Winch here. I will see you on the battlefield.